Hey kiddos, welcome to this week's homework, which is converting units of length for metric and customary. I strongly suggest, if you haven't done it yet, to print out the chart that I gave to you if you need some help remembering how to convert and what numbers to use. And with that, let's go ahead and get started. We're comparing 25 inches and 2 feet, knowing that 12 inches equals 1 foot. That tells me that 25 inches is more by 1 inch specifically. 6 yards and 10 feet. 3 feet equal 1 yard. That's our converter. So 6 yards is going to be bigger. Coming down here, 3 miles or 20,000 feet. 1 mile is equal to 5,280 feet, which means 20,000 feet is going to be greater. 4 meters or 400 millimeters. 1 meter is 100 centimeters, and you would multiply that by 10. So 1 meter equals 1,000 millimeters, which means that 4 meters is greater. Coming down here, 100 centimeters or 1 kilometer. 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. And if we convert that even further, 1 meter is 100 centimeters. So using that knowledge, 1 kilometer is going to be greater. 50 centimeters or 5 meters. 1 meter is 100 centimeters. So 5 meters is going to be the greater value. That is the end of our first page. Any questions? Bring them with you to class. All right, coming down here, notice for this one, which is less? Which is less? Look at the directions carefully. Starting off with 7 yards or 250 inches. 36 inches is 1 yard, which means that 250 inches would be less. Again, less. Okay. Over here, 9,000 yards or 8 miles. 1 mile equals 1,760 yards. So that means that 9,000 yards would be less. Down here, 95 inches or 10 feet. There's 12 inches in 1 foot, so 95 inches would be less. 6 kilometers or 600 millimeters. This one probably didn't even take much thought. 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters, so 600 millimeters is definitely going to be less. 800 meters or 8 kilometers. Again, 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters, so 800 meters isn't even a full kilometer. That's going to be less. And then to the last one on this page, 9 meters or 1,000 centimeters. 1 meter is 100 centimeters, which means that 9 meters would be less. That is the end of this page. Any questions? Bring them with you to class. Page 3, we are converting. So I'm giving you one value and you have to tell me what it would be in the other value. So we have 7 yards. 3 feet equal 1 yard. So we would do 7 yards times 3 to get 21 feet. Over here, we're doing feet to inches. 12 feet equal how many inches? 1 foot is 12 inches. So we multiplied 10 times 12 to get 120 inches. Coming down here, how many miles are in 10,560 yards? Oops, sorry, I dropped my Apple Pencil. So 1 mile is 1,760 yards. So when you divide, because we're going from bigger to smaller, right? It takes more yards to make a mile. This is going to give us 6 miles. Same thing over here. 1 mile is equal to 5,280 feet. So since we're going from a larger amount to a smaller, because we need more feet to go into a mile, we're going to divide and we get 3 miles. Coming down here, we have inches and inches, but one is feet and one is yards, so be careful. 12 inches is 1 foot, so 108 inches is 9 feet. 108 inches is 3 yards because there's 3 feet in a yard. So dividing our 9 feet by 3 to get our yards. Miles to yards. 1 mile is 1,760 yards. So we're going to multiply. When we do that, we get 7,040 yards. Miles to feet, we're going to multiply by 5,280 feet, which is what is in a mile. And we're going to get 21,120 feet. That is the end of page 3. Any questions? Bring them to class. All right, down here for another conversion. This time we are looking at metric values. So centimeters to meters. There are 100 centimeters in a meter. So divide this value by 100 to get 7 meters. How many meters are into millimeters? So 1 meter is 1,000 millimeters. Times this by 1,000 and get 9,000 millimeters. Coming down to our middle ones, kilometers to meters. 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. So if I divide this by 1,000, I get 8 kilometers. Centimeters to kilometers. This one took a couple of extra steps because I need to figure out how many centimeters are in a kilometer using a couple things. 1 kilometer equals 1,000 meters, and 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. So I need to take my 1,000 and times it by 100, which gives me a 1 with 5 zeros. Oop, my decimal or my comma's going to be in the wrong spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me move that. There we go. So when we divide this by 100,000, we get 4. Sometimes you have to double convert to get what we're looking for. All right, millimeters to meters and centimeters. So 58,000 millimeters, how many meters is that? We're going to divide by 1,000 to get that, and we get 58. To get from millimeters to centimeters, we divide by 10, which means we're taking off 1 0. We get 5,800. Over here, we have kilometers to meters and centimeters. 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. So we're going to times this by 1,000 and get 3,000. Kilometers to centimeters. Well, to get from meters to centimeters, we need to times by 100. So that means we are going to add 2 extra zeros this time, and we get 300,000. That is the end of our 4th page. Any questions? Bring them with you to class. Here comes our last one. You can see from this that they're not going to convert evenly. We're going to have feet and inches. So think of this like a remainder when you're dividing. What's left over is going to be in the original form. Let's take a look. 30 inches is how many feet? 12 inches is 1 foot. So we can pull out 2 feet and have 6 inches left. 3 feet equal a yard, so we can take out 14 yards and have 1 foot remaining. Feet to miles, there are 5,280 feet in a mile. So if we divide, we can pull out 5 miles and have 75 feet remaining. 79 millimeters is how many centimeters and meters left over. Every 10 millimeters is a centimeter, so we can pull out 7 centimeters and have 9 millimeters remaining. Down to our last 2, centimeters to meters with centimeters left over. We can do 100 centimeters is a meter, so we can pull out 5 100ths and have 80 centimeters left. And then meters to kilometers, 1,000 meters is 1 kilometer, so we can pull out 1,000 and have 120 left. That is the end of our work for this week. Have a great weekend. Any questions? Bring them to class.